matchup, Wooster Lady Generals versus Mansfield Senior Lady Tigers.
Welcome back to the jungle, baby, as Tiger Week continues on the OH Report. Live and free coverage from Pete Henry Gymnasium pairs Mansfield Senior with Ohio Cardinal Conference rivals Wooster tonight. Bounce back opportunity coming up for the home team as always, live and free. On the way on your smartphone, tablet, or television. Next.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Wooster, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Second night of a back-to-back for Mansfield Senior brings conference foe Wooster into Senior High tonight, where the Lady Tigers await a chance to bounce back from last night's losing effort. That's coming up right now. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Pete Henry Gymnasium. My name's Brian Skronsky, joined tonight by Zach Massa, the stat master, making his commentator debut. And Zach, we've got a Lady Tigers team playing their third game in 4 days after an early season quarantine situation has really backloaded their schedule, so they can really go a couple of different ways here. They can get some nice continuity together, they can get some consistency, but it's also going to mean some tired legs, I should say, for these Tigers, so expect a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to kind of see what happens. Coming off of a tight game last night against New Philadelphia, where they got down early and then pretty much played even the rest of the game. But, yeah, when you get those NBA-type schedules, same thing like what we get on the boys' side too sometimes, that you got to wonder what it does to the legs and even just mental fatigue sometime. One opponent to the next of not knowing what they're going to throw at you, and really no time to prep.
Had an opportunity to catch up with Mansfield Senior head coach DeVar Hudgens, talk about exactly that. Let's go ahead and take a look at that interview. Javar Hudgens, second-year coach of the Tigers, is joining me on the second night of a back-to-back VAR, and at the high school level, I mean, you get these quite a bit, so you're familiar with them. What type of challenges do these present, and what do you have to do differently as a coach on the second night of these?
Legs. Hope we got legs today to pressure the ball the way we need to play. Yesterday was kind of sluggish, and that typically happens when you don't have school that day, and the kids sleep in. They typically come in sluggish. That's in football. That's in all sports that I've coached. But I think if we can come through with some legs, I think we'll be all right.
And then coming off of a loss, what do you think this does for your team in terms of motivation? How are you using that to kind of fuel a fire underneath them?
It's a conference game. It's a conference game, a must-win conference game to stay in contention for a championship. So they got to get pumped up. They have to get pumped up. They got to get self-motivated for a championship, for a conference championship.
That's what's up. All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So you heard it there from Javar, talking about just playing back-to-back nights and ultimately trying to bounce back also from a losing effort last night. He feels like it's going to motivate his kids, most certainly because it's a conference game, Zach. Last night, even though it was a big contest, a bit of a barometer game, this one holds a little bit more significance when you see Wooster come to town.
Yeah, when you've got a conference game coming up on the schedule, that's really the one that you're focused on the most. Conference games are treated like championship games, every single game out, not necessarily waiting to the last one of the season to see where you fall. So you focus on that, and then what happens with your out of conference schedule happens. That's just a barometer to get you ready for the tournament.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups for both sides, and it's a really young Wooster squad. They are going to be starting tonight 3 sophomores and a freshman. And then their 6th lady off the bench also is a 9th grader. So very similar situation to what Mansfield Senior has going on, where you see breaking into the starting lineup the stud standout freshman Kirsten Bradley, Kaya Wentz, a sophomore, Takaya White, and Julia Rizzo are a couple of veterans that are into the mix in the starting lineup for the Tigers. But definitely it is a young nucleus. They're going to bring about 3 more 9th graders off the bench here tonight. So the Tigers and the Generals, both really young, exciting squads that on any given night they can do some great things, Zach, but then they're going to have some moments where you can tell they just don't have a lot of varsity experience.
Right. You'll see mistakes happen, and with this type of a group, when they're this young, those types of mistakes are young mistakes. You know, you see that and you can understand it, you feel it, you're not quite as upset about it, just hoping that they learn from it and don't just go through the motions and have it happen again. You know, learn from it and be ready for the next year.
So great, valuable experience for both teams this season, getting a lot of these youngsters into the mix. So you imagine that the future is going to be bright for both of these programs, probably going to be contenders within the OCC moving forward. Worcester, though, just a couple of wins so far on their campaign. Mansfield Senior had a nice run going, 4 wins in 5 outings before dropping that game last night here at home. And we are underway with the Generals with the back tap, and they're going to start with possession. Nora Levy here, the leading scorer, leading assister on the squad, and Coach Baus, Michael Baus, now in his 11th year, told me that they're still searching for a leader, but this girl has been standing out so far, and she's got the first 2 of the night for the Lady Generals.
Yeah, that was a tough little runner underneath the foul line there to get things going. We'll see if we can come back and tie it up.
It was a smooth drive right down Main Street. Bradley came up a bit short, but Tigers collect the offensive rebound. Another opportunity for him. Solid ball movement side to side from the corner. White off the drive. Looked like Wooster might have got a piece of that. And now the Tigers come up with the theft. Here's Rizzo. Wild runner right there. White was almost right place, right time, but it's off her hands and out of bounds.
Yeah, that was almost a throw up, and hope you got something called on the foul.
So it's going to be Generals basketball. Tigers, full court, 2-2-1 pressure. Lady Generals break it. Here's Levy, pull-up jumper, and she's 2 for 2 to start the game. So Nora Levy off to a nice start. Rizzo a bit more under control this time. Takes the bump, and she's going to head to the free throw line. Take one more look. Here's Julia. Nice strong drive inside. Bumped really on both sides. Got a sandwich there. Foul's going to go against Abby Jones. First shot for the senior, nothing but net. And Rizzo, 2 great looking strokes right there. Pulls Mansfield within a deuce. But just like that, Wooster pushes it right back up. Tori Petterini.
Yeah, not getting back enough in that transition to get that quick stop.
Quick trigger, Bradley short-armed it. Rizzo saved it back in bounds, but into the hands of Petterini. Nice look inside from Levy. Blowing it at the rim, though, was Badisher. And now a tough foul against Wooster. And it always seems like when you have an easy shot and you miss it, Zach, something bad usually follows.
Yeah, you're usually out of position, getting the rebound. You never know what's going to happen. They'll just be glad that that wasn't a foul on the Tigers.
Just about 2 minutes gone by here in this opening quarter. Generals have been pretty efficient offensively so far. Tigers still trying to find their stride, seeking their first field goal of the night. Might be right here from the corner. Misfired again from Bradley, but out of bounds. It's going to be Tiger basketball.
Tigers haven't quite found their shot just yet. They've shot pretty much everywhere all over the floor, but just can't get them to drop other than the foul line.
Bradley cut off by Levy, has to back it out now. Rizzo sets the screen, frees up Wentz outside. She banks it in. Tough angle right there for Kyle Wentz, but she makes good on it. As Petterini misfires, offensive board collected by Kurtz, but they give it away. Here comes Mansfield on the leak out. White got in tight, but kind of lost her balance.
Yeah, didn't have a good angle going towards the basket. Just kind of went straight up.
So now the Generals with a 1-point cushion, chance to add to their lead. 5-second call there. Bradley playing the D. There's Kirsten all over, and you see the Tiger bench fired up about that one. And, you know, those are the plays that you always love to see as a coach. Solid defensive effort, stepping up to the occasion, even though it hasn't gone well so far for Kirsten offensively, doing it at the other end.
Yeah, the defensive end is really where it's at. That's a big stress point. You know, you can come out and score 20 points a game, but if the guy or the girl you're guarding scores 25, it's not going to do you any good.
Here's Manetta Hillary fresh off the bench. Super exciting freshman. She's got the setup for Rizzo, who knocks it down. First lead of the game for TY.
Tigers still matched up.
Levy had it taken away. Hillary picked her pocket. Pushing the pace, and she's going to get fouled. Petterini from the backside. It's going to be the third team foul against the Wooster Generals.
That might have just saved a quick transition bucket. The way they were running down the floor, had good numbers, good spacing. That could have been an easy assist and layup.
So perhaps a wise foul that time by Tori. So Tigers with the rock half-court set. Looks like the Generals are sitting in like a 2-3 matchup style zone right here. Hillary and Wentz so aggressive offensively, always trying to attack the crease. Here's Manetta, leaves it off. Rizzo inside, too strong off the board. And that's going to be the first foul against Mansfield Senior as Kurtz pulled down the defensive board.
Oneta did a good job of driving in and dishing off. You want to, when you're attacking a zone, you want to make sure you have two pinch in and guard you so that you can get one off and just drop it off somewhere.
Foul's going to go against Hillary, her first. Now Tigers going to drop back, man-to-man D. Levy, a couple of options here, 2 screen set up at the foul line. Mansfield elects to switch. Wooster sets it up from downtown, and Petterini knocks it down.
Good closeout by Rizzo, but you just couldn't get there quick enough to get a hand in their face, and the way they're scoring right now, you got to get right up in them.
Here's Bradley trying to match it, and still can't find it offensively. Kirsten Bradley, 0 from 3 from three-point land to start. Nice position inside, up fake, and the foul on the shot attempt. Abby Jones heading to the free throw line. Take another look. Here's Abby down on the block. Couple of nice fakes, and it looked like Mansfield tried to go straight up with it, but instead it's going to be a foul. And here's Jones at the line. First offering is good.
Checking in for Mansfield Senior, number 5, Daisy Vance, and number 11, Victoria Brown. Replacing Kirsten Bradley and Julia Rizzo.
Personals on Kaya Wentz. Her first, second team foul on Mansfield Senior. And Jones makes it a 4-point game. Generals getting in some subs. Grace Gray on the floor for the first time tonight. Strong move inside, but Victoria Brown looked like might have got tipped that time by the Lady Generals, or just came up well short with the attempt. Generals are going to throw it away. That was Petterini trying to find Levy and just slipped through her fingers.
Tigers are definitely stepping up the press, putting pressure on the ball whenever they can. Sometimes it's just not getting a quick enough movement when they swing the ball from side to side to get those shots off.
Definitely was their friend and their enemy at different times in last night's loss. But one thing that you can say about this Mansfield team, they're so deep, they get 10 girls in consistently just about every night, is that they play hard when they get their minutes on the floor. As that one came up short on the three-point attempt from Daisy Manns, but the Tigers collect the offensive board. They set up Wentz. Finds the back iron. Brown with the third opportunity and 3 shots, no points for Senior High.
Apparently when they were setting the gym up today for the game, they forgot to take the lid off that end and just kept it on the Wooster side.
Shooting definitely has been a struggle here in the first quarter for Mansfield Senior. And that's kind of been their MO throughout the season, Zach, when I've seen them here at home, is this is a Tigers team that they get real comfortable in that deep hole at the beginning of the game, and then in the second and third quarter, they start to dig themselves out. So they just takes them a minute to find their footing.
Yeah, a lot of that could be youth as well. You know, we talked about the freshmen, how many freshmen and a couple sophomores that they have. So getting used to that speed and adjustment, that can still throw them off a little bit.
Wentz, nice move up top, tries to set up Brown, lost the handle momentarily. Missed the shot, got it back, a lot of contact, no call, and here's Gray with the rock. Levy pushes it. Woo! Backside, big block shot by Talena Gross. Let's check that out again. Look at the hustle, recovering.
Yes, that is great hustle, getting back. You know, you had a odd man rush, as they would say in hockey, and she came back and helped with that block.
Wentz got a piece of it, but tipped out. Three-pointer no good from Petterini. And the Tigers again hold the Generals to a one and done as we're under 50 seconds to go in a fast-moving first quarter. Mans didn't even think about it. Pulled the trigger. Came up short, though. 3-on-2 for Levy. And conversation whether it was going to be a travel or a foul on the floor. I think this is going to be a personal, maybe against Wentz, and that could be big. It's going to be her second, and it will be.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at to see if she might have got her with the body a little bit. Yeah, that definitely does not help them, even though she's not scoring a lot right now. That is not going to help them on the offensive end.
So Kirsten Bragley is going to sub in for her. Kaya is going to head over to the bench. 2 fouls, 3 points for her so far. Lady Generals can hold for the last shot if they'd like here. It looks like Levy's going to go to work. Mansfield switching everything tonight, and it's throwing off the Lady Generals off after that first initial screen opportunity.
Yeah, you think you've got someone beat, and then all of a sudden there's another body right there to cut you off.
Baseline drive cut off nice that time by Daisy Mans. Tigers playing some nice defense, getting after it. They get the takeaway as we're down to 6 seconds. And Bradley went right at Grace Kodashers, who's called for the foul.
Wooster foul, number 14, Grace Castores. And it's her first.
And I could not have said her last name right. I'm going to have to get some clarification at the end of the first quarter on this one. They set it up. Here's Bradley at the horn, and she comes up empty as that takes us to the end of one with the Wooster Generals on top, 11-7. You're watching live and free high school hoops exclusively on the OH Report.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Your live and free high school hoops coverage. Mansfield Senior versus Wooster rolls along. Second quarter action underway, and Mansfield wasted no time getting to work on the offensive glass. 2 rebounds there at the offensive end, but as we saw in the first quarter, weren't able to capitalize on the second chance opportunities.
The lid's still on the basket no matter what adjustments they made or whatever Coach Hudgens tried to talk to them there in between quarters. It is just not falling for him.
Coming into the game for Wooster, number 42, Grace Gray, replacing Abby Jones.
So a quick substitution here as Gray out on the floor for Jones. Less than 20 seconds here into the second. As Hillary attacks, and she'll score right down Main Street.
I know everyone says it, but there's the flashbacks to her brother. She's probably getting tired of it by now, but it's a great comparison to make.
They really do look similar in their style. Their body structure not exactly in alignment, though.
No, well, maybe around that age. I remember when Quan was, at least when I was around him when he was in 8th grade, and that was about right.
Then he started building that fullback linebacker build about, what, sophomore, junior year?
Yeah, I had left the program for a few years, and then when I came back, yeah, he looked like he just came straight off the football field. Yet never had a blade of grass under his feet in the fall, I don't
Not
think.
a once. Not a once. Levy back iron. Offensive board secured by Gray. And after a little struggle, Lady Generals get another shot up, but the Tigers hold them again.
Yeah, that was great defense right there. Bradley forced her down baseline, and Perry came over and cut her off, and that's exactly what you want to do.
Moneta on the kick out. Hesitation. Bradley. Tough shot. Hand right in her face. And she has a tendency to force them every now and again. Just a freshman, so she's going to learn. Generals, though, give it away.
And the amazing thing is, with all these shots that have been put up, it's only a 2-point game.
Yeah, you're right. Seems like Wooster has got it going much more efficiently at the offensive end, but Mansfield Senior forcing 5 turnovers in that first quarter. They also secured 4 offensive rebounds, so keeping them right within striking distance as we're about a minute and a half in here, second quarter action. Brian Skronsky with you along with Zach Massa tonight. Inside Pete Henry Gym, where it's the second night of a back-to-back for the Lady Tigers, looking to bounce back with a W. After a tough performance late in last night's loss against New Philadelphia. And Bradley again. Rainbow airballed it. And I think there's going to be a foul, loose ball foul against the Wooster Generals. Yeah, it's going to go on Madison Kurtz.
Yeah, Dakaya White was in just the right spot to get that. Brianna Perry had a good box out just in case it went short, and then Wooster just got him on the reach. Let's see what the Tigers do out of this double stack on the baseline out of bounds.
They'll come up top to Hillary, a little shake and bake. Not able to get by the defender, Abby Swigert. Now Rizzo pulls the trigger. Perry there for the board. Finds Julia, great cut in the bucket.
That was a great read by Julia. Good assist by Brianna, cutting into that basket after rebound. And back to the 2-2-1.
All around great offensive work there for Mansfield Senior to close the gap as we're all square. And boy, that was tough. About a 50-50 one there. It looked like Perry nearly got to the spot first. See if we can see it on replay. Here's Levy getting around White. Perry coming up. Yeah, definitely still moving the feet.
Yeah, those are those close ones.
Nice look inside. Little Micah drill, but just misfiring was Badisher. And it's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by Wooster. I'd like to take a quick moment for thanking our generous sponsors for tonight's games. We've got Mechanics Bank tonight on our scoreboard. Instant replay in our player of the game as Rizzo comes off back iron. Park National Bank, commercial sponsor for us tonight. As Levy does some nice work to get inside for the 2. And then Whitaker Myers Wealth Management, also a commercial sponsor. So a big thank you to all 3 of those entities for helping us bring you tonight's action live and free.
Now in the game for Mansfield Senior, number 22, Talina Gross, replacing Kirsten Bradley.
Wooster stepped out a little bit out of that zone, put a little pressure, causing the travel turnover. Get the ball back after that quick transition bucket they just had. See if they can quick score 2 back-to-backs.
Substitutions on both sides as Gross back into the lineup along with Mans for Mansfield Senior. Grace Gray on the floor now for the Generals as Badisher is going to check out. Grace Costaris also back into the mix here for the Lady Generals. They're going to try to squeeze it inside to her. Lucky that it wasn't a turnover. But then a jump ball as Hillary just continued to battle. Tied up Swigert.
It's good aggression. You always have to wonder when they go for those tie-ups. You're going to get the foul. You're going to get the jump ball. You know, luckily they got it on the right side and got the jump ball. So now the next possession will be the Tigers.
4 team fouls right now on Mansfield Senior. 6 against Wooster. As we've got another jump ball. Possession arrow is going to go in favor of Mansfield now.
And the possession arrow will go just the same way it was 5 seconds ago. You take it. No, you take it. No, you take it.
So now it's Mansfield's chance at the offensive end. We'll see what they do with this. Wanted to get it down on the block to Rizzo. He's had a nice offensive game so far. 6 of the Tigers, 11 points up to this point. Now Julia swings it. Hillary, beautiful around the back, and the floater is good. Monetta Hillary now with 4 points. Got us all to square. A baker's dozen each for Wooster in senior high. And that's going to be another general turnover.
Looked like Wooster came out that time and was trying to run a little horn set with a 2-post screen set on the top defender. We'll have to see if they come back for that again.
Over the midway point now of quarter number 2. Tigers looking to gain the lead here. Gross fires halfway home. Then a rebound to Gray.
It's not getting the right box outs that they need in the right positions.
Nora, nice aggressive move in between 2 Tigers before she got bumped. It's another look at Levy, who averages 15 points per game. Got 6 so far. Chance to add to that total.
And that was one of those freshman mistakes right there. They're coming at you, and you just kind of have that automatic reaction that you just want to swing at it, and you'll get called every time, sometimes whether you make contact or not.
Bradley checks back in for Mansfield Senior. Perry has played some nice minutes inside and, you know, missed the first few games for them. She's a nice addition in the post for Mansfield Senior, brings a physical presence and has a few offensive rebounds so far in this game. Levy knocks down the second. Timeout taken. It's going to be a 30-second timeout by the Generals. Well, what's your impression so far, Zach, of what you've seen from Mansfield's second night of a back-to-back?
Definitely don't have their legs under them. You know, I'm looking at the scoreboard right now and looking at the scoring breakdown, and you could almost just play 3-on-3 because there's only three Tigers that have scored, and there's only 3 Generals that have scored so far. So right now the Tigers got 10 of their 13 points on the floor, but you can see there's a little bit of rust. The 3 games, 4 days, it's definitely starting to catch up. The unfortunate thing is the way the schedule is, I don't think it's going to get much better.
Yeah, Lady Tigers going to be back in action again. They'll get a day off, and then we'll return to the court on Thursday. Lucky for senior high, though, it's all home cooking, all in the friendly confines right here at Pete Henry. And you already know OH Report going to be back in the building as Levy swats it, and it comes back to her.
Wooster threw a little press in there that time, kind of threw him off a little bit.
Beautiful drive and set up that time. Petterini on the back end of the feed from Levy.
Now here they are in that 1-2-2. Working, trying to get the trap. Usually when you see that odd man front like that on that press, odds are a trap's going to be coming somewhere in the corner. So you got to recognize that before you cross the timeline and try swinging the ball around just so you can break it.
17th foul here against Wooster is going to put Hillary on the line. 1-and-1 opportunity. And the freshman shows some nice touch there on the first. And Moneta perfect 2 for 2. Up over a double team that time for Batisher. Missed it. Rebound collected by Rizzo. Moneta misfired. And we got another jump ball.
Sometimes you just got to watch. You get those one-and-done quick possessions. Usually like to see get a little bit more ball movement.
Generals are just 2 passes and a quick shot. Kurtz, no good.
Tigers set up in the 2-3 that time, which helped them get back into the game last night against New Philadelphia.
Now here's Gross. Boy, these Tigers are unconscious from outside. They shoot it so fast, but I think they've only connected on 1-3 up to this point. Kaya Wentz banked it in.
Yeah, Kaya's three-pointer.
You know, unofficially, probably about 0 for 12 outside of that one. Ooh, Mansfield's bench definitely wanted to get a travel on that play. Take another look here. See Daisy Mann's nice closeout.
Yeah, probably just a little too much body on that as she was moving. She wasn't cutting her off and keeping the space.
So Levy to trigger. So we got just a $1.25 remaining in this first half, and she throws it right to Mans. Hillary with the cross, gets by her defender, threads it inside. Watch this again, folks. Whoop, the blow by the defender, and then just right around Batisher with the pass.
I think Julia was calling for that ball about a half a second earlier and then figured Hillary was just going to shoot it, so she put her hands down and wasn't quite ready for that pass. But was still able to get the shot off and the foul.
Takaya White is back out onto the floor as Mans takes a seat. And the 5'10 senior a chance to tie things up. 0 for 2 on that trip. Generals lost the handle. Hillary comes up with it again. Lost the handle. Now they swing it. Here's Kirsten Bradley straight away. Soft touch. Not that time. 2-on-1. Levy sets up her teammate. Nice choice. Pederini with the lay-in.
Transition's been Worcester's biggest friend. They've been pushing the ball up the floor, not so much dribbling it up, and then they get those 2-on-1 opportunities.
Kirsten went baseline. Wooster had some help there.
Yeah, they're not allowing any attacks on that baseline side.
Hillary again inside for Rizzo. Missed it. Tried to collect her own board and last tapped out here by Wooster. Probably the right call there. Looked like Batisher probably got at least a couple of fingernails on it. Here's Julia all alone. And the shooting woes continue for Mansfield. Wooster with one last chance here as we check the clock. 2 seconds. Levy ridden down. Not sure she got it off in time, but it doesn't matter. That's going to take us to the end of 2, where right now it's the Lady Generals on top by 3, 18-15 on our My Mechanics scoreboard. We'll step away. When we come back, we will break down the first half for you, get you some stats to stew over, and get you ready for quarter number 3. Keep it here. Live and free high school basketball on the OH Report will return in just a moment.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Wooster, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
It's halftime here inside of Pete Henry Gymnasium, where at the break, the Lady Generals of Wooster own a slim 18-15 advantage over Mansfield Senior. I'm Brian Skronsky, joined tonight by Zach Massa, and let's take a look at the first half stats that were pretty tight for the most part. Three-point shooting on both sides, though, has not gone well. Mansfield has attempted quite a few. At least for their sake, though, Zach, offensive rebounds have been really good. They've got 6.
Yeah, you want to at least get those offensive rebounds. Really, the shooting all around, the threes, they haven't quite been falling the way they want, but still haven't gotten quite a lot around the basket either. There's been a lot left over, and they're hoping to hopefully they'll make their adjustments, get a little bit more focus, and knock down. But Worcester's done a great job, actually, the way they've been kind of packing in the paint so that they're not giving anything easy inside. Every layup's been contested, it's been bodied, there's been hands up, and so it's always been an off-balance drive. So the three-pointers, they've gotten their feet set. They're able to swing the ball, the Tigers are, and get their shots off, but those just aren't falling. So when you combine cold shooting with everything contested inside, that's how you get 15 points at half.
I think actually defensive efforts on both sides were pretty good. Mansfield press forced Wooster to speed up a little bit. It did allow the Lady Generals to get into transition and get a couple of easy ones. However, I think that their perimeter defense has been solid, and especially when you factor in that it's mostly freshmen and a sophomore out there playing that perimeter D for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's where, the Tigers, they've gotten beat several times in transition. Like I mentioned before, Worcester's done a good job after a turnover or after a made basket of getting the ball up the floor. They're not dribbling it. 1-2 passes, it's all the way down into the corner on the Tiger paw down there. And then they'll get their shots off and get some points. But once Senior High gets back, settles into a half-court defense and makes them play, make them pass around, make them make some moves, that's where the Tigers have been able to get their stops.
Still 2 more quarters of action here in this OCC contest. Lady Tigers looking to bounce back with a victory tonight. We'll find out if they can do it together. Take one more timeout. Be back with third quarter action live and free exclusively right here on the OH Report.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Wooster, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Welcome back to Pete Henry Gymnasium for live and free ladies basketball action. OCC showdown tonight. Got the Mansfield Lady Tigers and Wooster Generals going toe-to-toe. I'm Brian, joined by Zach Massa tonight, and we see your comments out there, Facebook land. Let's go ahead and dive in. Take a look at Shannon Irving cheering on her Lady Tigers, wanting to wish them luck. Davis Chapman says, "Go Tigers, we are TY Tiger." Brittany Davis also cheering on the ladies. Jason says, "Way to go, Zach."
Yeah, you know, he's on my payroll, so, you know, he had to do that.
Marie Hudges also cheering on the Lady Tigers, as is Brenda Phillips. So thank you for all the fanfare, folks. We do appreciate and love our fans, and I know that you would love to cheer on a Kirsten Bradley 3 eventually. She's got great-looking stroke, but has not been able to find it tonight. I mean, she's got to be something like 0 for 6, 0 for 7 from downtown right now.
Law of averages, one's got to go in. You would think. Just hopefully it's not until after the game and shoot around.
It did take her a little while to get going last night. I feel like this is kind of a similar situation. And then in the third quarter, she knocked down a couple, started to find it a little bit before Mansfield dipped off in the fourth quarter. But this typically is where the Tigers shine. Under Coach Hudgens, they are a third quarter team. They usually get back into the game after falling behind, as Levy thought that she should have a chance for a three-point play there. Let's see. I think she's got a pretty strong case for heading to the foul line, but said it's going to be the third foul on Kaya Wentz. We'll see how long Javar sticks with her in the lineup.
Yeah, that's always that tricky thing when you get that third foul at the beginning of the half.
That one in and out. Perry rips down the board.
And we have another jump ball.
Possession arrow belongs to the Generals. Nora looking for some options. Referee had a 4 count there, so gets it in just in time. And now trying to feed Jones down on the low block, and Perry took it away.
Tried to lob it over and just wasn't enough, and Brianna was able to get that steal.
Same matchup zone look here for Wooster. Can TY eventually solve this? A three-pointer would help. But, man, the Tigers just can't buy one from beyond the arc. They have been working the offensive glass, though. 8 at that end of the floor. But the problem is it looks pretty on the stat sheet, Zach, having all those offensive boards. But the Tigers haven't had any, like, easy bunnies or putbacks.
Right, and those offensive boards, high numbers are great, like you said, on a stat sheet, but there's a reason there's a lot of high offensive rebounds when there's a lot of missed shots.
Levy got a hand in the passing lane, ended up in the hands of Jones, who went tumbling down. Just couldn't keep her footing. Just about 90 seconds gone by here in quarter number 3, where we are still scoreless, folks. Same numbers that we had on the scoreboard at the half, as Wentz tried to force that one. Not a good-looking pass right there.
One thing I liked at the start of that was Brianna was setting a screen at the top of that zone. That's one thing you don't see very often. And I'm personally a big fan of that, but you don't see enough screening when it comes to playing against the zone.
Big block shot to Kaya White. Help side D comes over, and Petterini had the SWAT team called on her.
Good recovery to get back and get that ball knocked out of bounds.
Levy from the corner, clean look, and this time it's a clean swish. Biggest lead of the night for either side. Generals, 6-point cushion, and you can feel that 3 ball right there kind of energized them a bit, and Maybe Coach Hutchins understands that too. He wants a timeout to talk things over. As the Tigers still looking for their first points here in quarter 3.
Yeah, try to slow things down. You know, that out-of-bounds play, that really was, you know, that's kind of called America's play because every school in the country runs it. You always got to keep an eye on that inbounder when they step back in, and sometimes you just get lost, and they nailed it perfect.
Just a 30-second timeout here for the Lady Tigers. Just have not been able to get the spark to really ignite their engine offensively here tonight. Don't know that they've had back-to-back buckets at any time.
You got to wonder with Kaya picking up those quick fouls and her having to sit so long in that first half, if that threw some of their rhythm and routine off a little bit, used to having her in handling the ball.
Hillary, who's fresh off the bench, clean look inside, and Rizzo on the other end for 2.
Definite miscommunication on that defense right there, allowing that wide open middle.
Pull up Jay, just short from Levy. Monetta got tripped up, and now Rizzo pulls it away. Lady Tigers looking to push the pace. Now Gross will back it out. They'll reset here. Bradley from the corner, bottoms up. Tigers now have back-to-back field goals.
That law averages. Keep shooting. Eventually one's going to go in.
First points of the night for Mansfield's leading scorer, Kirsten Bradley. Wooster can't have any response at the other end from Jones initially. The second shot is good, though, from Kurtz.
Slow rotation by Kaya Wentz there on a little bit on that pass to begin with. You got to wonder how timid she's playing. Now she's feeling it.
Back-to-back bombs, Kirsten Bradley. And after a super slow offensive start in the third, offense is just going crazy. It's overflowing out here, Zach.
Yes, it is. Sometimes all you got to do is just see the ball go in. Once you see it, you know what's going on, and it just stay in rhythm from there.
Coach Bouse want to slow things down a little bit, sensing the Tigers with some momentum, as they have scored 6 of the last 8 points to square things up at 23. So Mansfield starting to get something going offensively. Back-to-back threes by Kirsten, and boy, you said it in that first half. It just felt like a matter of time. You know, the law of averages and numbers tend to work themselves out, and Kirsten Bradley, such a strong, confident shooter. I think she's right around 30% from 3 on the season, so just felt like eventually she'd get a couple to fall.
Yeah, 36%, so a couple more, and honestly, she's right there back on her average.
Kurtz, nice look inside to Gray, but couldn't squeeze it. Hillary sizes up her defender. Down the lane, somehow wouldn't fall. About as close as you can get. Levy, jump stop, travel. Yeah, there it is, just the Tiger pressure surrounding her as soon as Nora gets into the lane. She has had a hard time here tonight. Tigers swing it. Now Hillary.
Tough cut.
Wentz off the back door. Had a step, but it would have had to have been a perfectly thrown pass. Now Levy driving with the left. Coach Hutchins, boy, he is fun to watch. And I tell you what, I think he gets just about as good a workout as any of his players when he's on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah, he is all over the place. Always talking, always clapping, sitting down in a defensive stance, moving his feet in a shuffle. He's doing everything on the sideline. But that's VAR. He's got that high energy all the time.
Nora converts the first. So Lady Generals regain the lead here. They've been in front for most of the night, folks, if you're just joining us. Tigers got off to their traditional slow start this season, and as on cue per the script of 2020-21, they have fought their way back into the game here in the third. Bradley got some room. This time misfired. She had hit her last two. Now Nora bumped by a Moneta.
Little too much body on that. Moneta did a great job getting back and being with her on the way back, but then just a little too much body.
Levy, quick trigger inbounds. Nobody was really ready for it. Now they get it back up top to Kurtz. Nora tried to turn the corner, lost her footing, and it's out of bounds, back over to TY. .239 to go here in the third quarter. Jones taking a seat. Badisher off the bench into the mix, and she's had kind of a quiet night. She averages pretty close to a double-double, 9 points, 8 rebounds per game. Held scoreless so far as number 21 in blue.
A little bit of standing and watching on that offensive side.
But Bradley with a chance for the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Another look at the drive. Patient right there. Made sure that Petterini couldn't get a hand on it, and then gets it to drop off the soft touch.
That's her second, team's first for the second half. Kirsten Bradley at the line for Mansfield Senior, shooting 1.
Lady Tigers with a chance for their first second half lead with the freshman Bradley at the line. And after being held scoreless in the first half, Kirsten looking for point number 9 here of the third.
They're shooting 20-footers. They add up quick.
And Bradley will rattle it in. So Mansfield Senior on top for the first time here in the third. Levy, though, looking to create some numbers. The setup, and Kurtz way over the top. Bradley, quick first step. Now outside, here's Daisy Mann. She wants a three, and she's got it.
This three-point barrage here in the third quarter should start opening things up, bring them out of that zone a little bit.
Lady Generals give it away. Back-to-back threes won't be here as Moneta Hillary was off target. Bad pass again there from Kurtz. Tigers with a 3-on-1. Hillary with the setup to Wentz. Too easy.
Starting to feel the tide shift a little bit.
Kyle Wentz filling the lane and filling it up for 2. She's got 5 now as Mansfield Senior, their biggest advantage so far of the contest. 6-point cushion as we're under a minute to go. Generals looking for an answer. They've got one. Nice look inside, and Badisher comes through with her first points of the night.
Tough bucket. Wooster needed that big time.
So Lady Generals calm things down at least here momentarily, but Mansfield certainly has found their stride at the offensive end in the third. Kick ball is going to be the call there.
You look at that defense set up, there was not one blue foot in the paint area. They were all spread out. They were close, but they weren't in there yet. So they're definitely starting to respect that three more. Now they just have to start attacking the gap.
And it's amazing how much easier offense can be collectively when you can knock down a couple of shots, certainly for your confidence, but more especially to force Wooster to come out and close out on the three-point shooters.
Right, outside in is always the way to go.
Here's Bradley to the middle, jump stop off glass, and she went high off the window for two. Bradley's in double-figure scoring now, all 11 coming here in the second half. Levy pulls the trigger, 3 seconds, tipped out, and that's going to bring us to the end of three. And what a quarter for Mansfield Senior High after scoring just 15 in the first half. Drops an 18-burger here in the third to take the lead. We'll be back, fourth quarter action on the way, live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
It's money time here at Senior High. Fourth quarter action just about set to begin, and a big run by Mansfield Senior in the third quarter right now has them on top 33-27. Brian Skronsky with you, joined by Zach Massa tonight. And boy, you got to be impressed with what we saw from Mansfield Senior in the third quarter, but it seems like that's been the storyline for them a bunch this season. And then they have a big drop-off when it matters most over the last 8 minutes, Zach. We're going to find out together if they can take that next step with all these young players in the mix, try to close out a big win here.
Yeah, that's definitely, that's youth and then energy and effort as well. You spend so much energy getting to that point in that third quarter. See how it rolls over into the fourth.
Julia Rizzo called for the travel there, and Jafar Hudgens beside himself. It looked like 2 steps to me before she gave it off, but the official right on top of it. It's a giveaway for the Lady Tigers. So the Generals, who got outscored 18-9, doubled up in that third, off to a slow start here in the fourth as Gross comes up with yet another theft for Mansfield. Trying to post up Perry inside. Went right at Battersher. Got a piece of it, blocked a shot.
That's what I was going to say. It looked like she got a little bit of a hand on that.
Left all alone, but can't capitalize as Petterini. And it's one and done. Rizzo with the board. Here's Rizzo, the senior from St. Peter's, up to the St. Peter's sophomore. Such a great addition into the lineup here for the Lady Tigers this season, getting 2 key starters. And with Amani Mitchell out due to injury, they had 3 Lady Spartans in the starting lineup for them.
Yeah, you get that varsity experience, even if it's with a different team and a different division. You get that varsity experience, knowing what to expect coming in with all these freshmen. That's invaluable. You just got to wonder how they'd be handling things if they didn't have that leadership with them.
It has certainly been a feather in the Lady Tigers' cap to have these veteran leaders on the floor from Mansfield St. Peter's. And, you know, the defensive effort from Mansfield is really forcing Wooster into a lot of tough decisions at the offensive end, and they've given it away quite a bit here in this second half.
Well, now that we're in the fourth quarter, up 6, you know, Tigers have the luxury of being able to sit in that zone and make them shoot the shots where, you know, when you're chasing points and down all the time, you can't really do that.
Levy forced to come out and guard Wentz. Burner with the crossover, but she missed the layup at the rim. Generals again, though, give it away. Bradley off the attack, domineering and picking up the foul. Strong drive that time by the freshman Bradley.
She tried to get that little floater to go in and pick up another old-fashioned 3, but just not there. That's just Worcester's 3rd foul of the half to the Tigers' 4.
First points of the fourth quarter right there. Took us over 2.5 minutes to get the scoreboard lit up here. And Bradley splits the pair, so it's just a 7-point cushion for Mansfield Senior. Looking to close out their 5th win in their last 7 games, following an 0-5 start. And boy, they have got the Generals off their game at the offensive end.
Yeah, just complete miscommunication. Looked like they thought they were going to keep backing up some more, but just nobody was home.
And for Wooster, at some point I imagine that Coach Boss is going to have to pull his defense out. They're going to have to try to run and gun, get some traps as they do switch the man-to-man. But they're allowing a lot of room up here up top when the guards are handling.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to get more aggressive.
See Wentz in no hurry, of course.
Just now picking up the count from the ref.
Rizzo sets up Bradley. Clean look. Missed it, but right place, right time. Offensive board into the hands of Hillary. Now Moneta jump stop, shovel pass. Shot blocked from the backside, Petterini. Here's the nice scoop pass to Rizzo, but even better recovery there.
Yeah, and right before that on Kirsten's drive, I could hear Coach Bouse from Wooster yelling, force him away from the middle, but that was as Kirsten was going to the middle.
A little too late.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a full timeout here for Mansfield Senior, who are in a different position than I've at least seen them playing here at home. They've got the fourth quarter lead, so I think this is a really good opportunity, a growth experience for these young guards to figure out what it means to close out a game. They've had to play some nail biters to get some W's here of late, so playing from out in front against you could argue, just as young team as you are, I think this is a good spot here for the Tigers.
Yeah, learning how to finish the games, that's a big part. You know, that's another learning. That's just what it is. It's a learning experience. And sometimes you don't think about it. You get used to just running and gunning and playing. The clock's still going. When the clock stops, I'm done playing. But you got to realize there's, you know, you got to play a little different. You got to take better selection on your shots. You know, that's like on the boys' side, we run situational drills. You know, up 4 minutes to go. You know, what are you going to do? How are you going to play it?
So here's the Tigers up 7. 4 minutes, 26 seconds remain on the clock. Second night of a back-to-back for the Lady Tigers. Trying to get it done today. Wentz blows by the defender. Ill-advised pass, but it's off the leg of a Wooster defender.
Yeah, that was a tough look right there. And that was kind of a forced, ill-advised.
Kai's just going to back it out now. Matched up with Petterini. Wentz this time is going to go to the floater. 2 times off the rim, and her St. Peter's teammate got her back. Offensive board to Rizzo.
With Wooster now spaced out and matched up, that's really hurt them on those offensive boards that they're not able to get to anymore.
Great body placement by Hillary to shield off Levy, but she missed the shot. And here come the Lady Generals back the other way, 3-on-3. Tough angle right there, and Nora way off the mark. Levy and Bradley, sophomore and a freshman, leading all scorers right now with a dozen. Gross, excellent hesitation in the baseline drive.
Great move.
So Delania Gross with a big 2, her first points of the night for the Lady Tigers.
Got that defender up in the air and went right around her.
Looked like Hillary had to have gotten a piece of that one off the offering from Kurtz. Jump ball, Lady Tigers got possession arrow on their side. And now the Generals appear as though they're going to come after Mansfield a little bit more aggressively. Wentz don't care.
No, she's going to blow right by him.
Now Bradley inside, missed it, crossed the paint. And for Wooster, they have got to start finding some stuff offensively. That'll help.
Yeah, you get a slow rotation, miscommunication on who should be popping out to that wing, and no one there quick enough, and she knocked that down.
Tori Petterini, the nice stroke right there. She's up to a dozen now. And that's, you know, as they say, exactly what the doctor ordered right there for Wooster. Trailing by 9. That cuts it down to a 2-possession game now, 36-30. But what they really need to do is hold Mansfield to, of course, no points. They got to get after him defensively, or, of course, try to get a turnover if they can.
Yeah, and the Tigers just need, you know, obviously it's only a 2-possession game with plenty of time to go, so it's not 4-corner stall ball time, but it is time to be smarter on what you do. Look for the layups. Don't just shoot it to shoot it. Make sure it's an open shot. Don't force the pass. Try to throw it in between 2 defenders like maybe you would in the first quarter of the game. They just got to be smart and know the time and score of what's going on.
See Amanda Chapman chiming in on the Facebook, says keep playing strong Tigers, and that they have. Looking for a big, crucial win here in OCC action tonight. And look at all these babies on the floor. 3 freshmen and a sophomore from Mansfield to try to close things out, Zach.
Trial by fire. Especially when you don't have a JV team or anything, you got to get put in this situation at some point.
Tigers have ran about 30 seconds off the clock as Wentz down Main Street fouled.
One thing I have been impressed with, we kept talking about how many games they've been playing and over a short period of time, but Tigers' legs actually still look pretty fresh. Watching Kaya a couple possessions ago sprint down the floor the way she did earlier in the season, she wasn't able to do that, getting that conditioning going.
To your point from just a second ago about no JV team, I think that definitely is of benefit to Mansfield during this stretch right now where you don't have kids that are playing 2-3 quarters of the junior varsity level and then coming up and trying to be contributors when they get their opportunity for varsity. So, this is it for Mansfield. The entire team, they out here just for this game, and they can hold all their energy for the big contest, if you will.
Yeah, it's always a catch-22.
Nora off by about half a foot with that one, and the rebound to Bradley. Goes trucking through up top. Check out this collision. I'm not sure what Levy thought was going to happen.
Yeah, you're going to get run over. That's the truck stick from Madden right there.
And that's one way to pick up a foul. Still one more to give, though, for Wooster. As Wentz got her shot blocked inside, went within the trees, and Gray just a bit too strong.
Again, that was one of those ill-advised rush shots. Come back down, give up a 3. Now it's down to 4. 4-point lead.
Huge shot right there by Tori Petterini. Her second triple, and wow, Wentz gives it right back.
So maybe the legs are doing good, but the mental fatigue might be setting in a little bit.
So the sophomore Wentz gives the Generals back the basketball, and they have made this thing a contest. Tigers want to talk things over as they see their lead, which once was right there near double figures, trimmed down to 4. $1:12 to go here in the fourth quarter. Big OCC showdown tonight. Lady Tigers looking for their 5th win of the season and their 5th dub in the last 7 outings after an 0-5 start. So for this young team, you know, a big spot like we were just talking about, and it looked pretty good there, Zach, for about 6 minutes, and then things have come unraveled just a tad here over about the last 60 seconds or so.
Yeah, you get the other team chance to make some adjustments. The adrenaline high dips a little bit, and you still got another quarter to play when you realize what's going on. But still a 4-point game, so Coach Hudgens over there in that timeout just telling them to be smart, making sure he's got his right lineup on the floor, ball handlers, and free throw shooters, because it's going to get to that point here pretty soon.
So it's Generals basketball from just south of midcourt here. Oh, they had something set up where they were trying to get Levy going to the hoop. It was there, just the pass was a bit off target.
Yeah, almost like a little quick hook and ladder. Just trying to get to him. But like you said, tip basketball. Now we're taking that ball out of bounds underneath.
Coach Ba's been doing this a long time. We'll see what he draws up. Not going to work. Badisher in the lane had it batted back, but it ends up in Levy's hands, and she knocks down a huge three-pointer. But Bradley racing back the other end like a speedboat. She gets it done.
Big defensive spot, defensive possession for the Tigers, and offensive possession for Wooster. They really need a bucket to keep things within reach.
A three-pointer, of course, will tie it. You don't necessarily have to go for the 3 with this much time remaining. Levy being hounded, almost a 5-second call, picked it up right at the right time. And now Coach Baus is going to take a timeout, and I think that's the right decision with just 16 seconds to go now. I mean, they had about 40 when they started that possession, Zach, but at this point, I think you do probably have to draw up something. Try to get a 3 quickly. That way, if you misfire, you at least have a chance for a tip out or offense or rebound or something.
Yeah, that possession, they didn't quite look like they knew what they wanted, whether they wanted the 3 or what they wanted to do. So, yeah, stop the bleeding on the clock a little bit, get that timeout. That is his last timeout of the game, so we'll see if that does anything. But if they get the score, they get a score. They still only have 5 team fouls, so they have to foul a couple times before the Tigers get back to the line. But Tigers haven't been shooting at the greatest from the free throw line, so anything could still happen.
Just when it looked like the Lady Generals might be cruising towards a lopsided L, they have started shooting it well from beyond the arc. 3 big triples here in this fourth quarter. 2 from Petterini and the latest from Levy have trimmed the gap all the way down to single possession, and no bigger possession of the night than what the Generals have coming up right now.
Coach Hudgens getting his defensive scheme, talking about what he wants to do on screens. Most likely probably switching the screens so that they stay with him. No one gets caught.
Get it in, Batashir, right back to Nora. Checks the clock, down to 10 seconds, to the corner. And they got to go here. 5 seconds, shot blocked. Wentz got a piece of it into the hands of Bradley, and she is going to dribble out the clock. Mansfield Senior survives for a huge win here, 39-36, as defense ends up being the decision maker here at the end. We'll step away. We'll be back with some post-game coverage. We'll have some final stats for you as well as an interview with the player of the game. So I really don't have one picked out in my mind. Zach and I will talk things over during the commercial break and would love to hear from you at home. So drop me a line on Facebook. Let me know who do you think is worthy of tonight's player of the game, and we will have an interview lined up with them right on the other side. Stay with us. Post-game coverage rolls along live and free on the OH Report.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Wooster, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Welcome back to Pete Henry Gym, where we are now joined by our My Mechanics player of the game, Kirsten Bradley, who had a big-time shooting performance in the second half to help propel her Tigers to a 39-36 victory here tonight. And Kirsten, scoreless in the first half. I think you were about 0 for 7 from the field, but you just never give up on your confidence. You just keep shooting. Tell me about that mentality as just a freshman at the varsity level to, not get too low on yourself.
My coaches, they really just tell me shooters shoot, so I never really use confidence. I know all shooters miss shots, so just keep shooting and they'll fall eventually. I just always keep that same motivation.
Well, you're the leading scorer on this team, and you led them in scoring again tonight. 14 points for you, probably push your average up to close to a dozen. Tell me about your role and what you see that you bring to the table for this team night after night.
Really, I just go out and play my game. I know what I need to do offensively, and I just play my game. I drive, shoot, kick out, do everything that I need to do.
Breaking down the action from tonight, you guys doubled them up in the third quarter, 18-9. You had a couple of really big triples in there to help push out the advantage. How big did that feel, and how much fun was that third quarter for you girls tonight?
It was pretty fun because I know I had a very bad shooting at the first half, so I knew I had to come out with some confidence, pick up my game, have more strength in my shot, and it'll end up falling. And I just play my game, never lose confidence.
Such a young team there at the end of the game. You're closing it out with 3 freshmen and a sophomore on the floor. Tell me about your progression so far throughout the season. You start with the 5 straight losses, but you're starting to turn the corner now. 5 dubs in your last 7. Tell me about the steps that this team has taken.
We're just really starting to play as a team, getting to know each other because, we have new girls from different schools, so we had to get used to them. And now I just feel like it's our time. We're just starting to play together as a team, and we're getting wins now.
And you're playing like an NBA schedule. This is your second night of a back-to-back, 3rd game in 4 days, and you got another one on the schedule in just another couple of nights. You got West Holmes coming back to your place. Tell me about this stretch right now, and what are some of the challenges, but then also what's fun about playing basketball at the competitive level just about every night?
It's pretty fun. It's tiring, but it's pretty fun. You don't have to worry about taking breaks, and I'm a freshman, and we have a lot of young players, so we're just getting used to the speed of the game, and it's getting easier the more we play. The more games we play, the more we'll get used to the speed.
Well, you guys, it certainly seems like you're starting to get up to speed now. Again, 5 wins in your last 7. Kirsten Bradley, a big reason why the Tigers were a winner tonight. 14 big points. Our player of the game presented by Mechanics Bank. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and throw it up to Zach now, standing by. He's got our final stats. Take it away, Zach.
I will here in a second.
Thanks, Casey.
All right, so final stats for tonight. The Tigers led the way from the field goal shooting, making 17 versus General's 15. 4 3-pointers versus Wooster's 5. Only 4, not very many free throws tonight, as Tigers made 4 and the Generals made 2. However, the Tigers did out-rebound the Generals 24-18, and they also did better handling the ball by only having 14 turnovers but causing 19 from Wooster. Fouls on the game were pretty even, 13-12, and everything there led to the Tigers' 39-36 victory.
And, I think what I liked most about what we saw from Mansfield Senior tonight is the fact that their third quarter has been their friend all year, but in the fourth, when it mattered most, we've seen this young team drop off in the past, not so much tonight. I think they took a big step here, Zach.
Yeah, that's a big way, learning how to finish the game. Now you've got that feeling. Now you know what to expect. You know what it takes, so you can continue it on and keep building the process.
So Mansfield Senior keeping that little streak going here as they pick up yet another dub. 5 in their last 7, as I mentioned a couple of times. And I think it's so cool to watch these young freshmen develop. And like Kirsten said, they've got other kids from other schools coming in. So for this team that had like 3-4 practices before they got into their first game, finally, Zach, they're starting to feel like they're at mid-season form.
Yeah, and the way they've actually gelled, they've come together real quick, real well. 12 games in, all these freshmen, different schools, players from different schools coming together, and they've really hit their stride. We got to give Coach Hudgens his props for the way he's building this team and building this program and getting things going back on track.
So Mansfield Senior takes care of business tonight, gets a huge OCC win as they're going to leave here bouncing back with a big dub over Wooster. It's going to wrap up our coverage from Pete Henry Gymnasium. Would like to thank our staff making things happen here tonight. Jory Hollenbeck was our camera operator. We've got a brand new intern, Jordan, who you guys are going to get to know as a sideline reporter as the season rolls along. She was tracking stats for the first time ever, I think, tonight, and did a pretty good job. Zach, normally really good at tracking stats, got a little out of phase tonight without his computer.
I couldn't, you started off giving me the Stat King title right off the bat, and it was downhill from there.
Too much pressure.
You get me with this archaic paper and pen. I'm trying to figure out which part on the paper to right-click and left-click for shots, and next time, if I earn another trip, I'll bring the handy-dandy computer that's been around the Tigers program for 24 years and see what we can get going there.
Well, I think the people have spoken. Everybody out there in Facebook land really impressed with your performance tonight, Zach. So I think you're going to get invited back on the OH Report.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
That's Zach Massa. My name is Brian Skronsky. Once again, final score, Lady Tigers a winner, 39-36. Thanks for watching. It's still Tigers week, though. We'll be back over here on Thursday. Boys basketball on Friday and Saturday. So keep it locked and loaded, Tigers fans, all week long right here on the OH Report. But so long for now.